90.5.
Good evening, dear intelligent, dedicated, and very highly discerning brothers and sisters. Good evening. Radio and everyone welcome to yet another edition of this Kokonsa reporting program, live on and exclusive to your power station, Radio Go 90.5 FM, still suffering from the high-handedness and the decision of a highly hyped coterie of people, but who obviously have no principles and no beliefs in the things they say. Unfortunately, I've lost my voice, but I still have to do what I have to do, you understand? You see how I love you, my cherished listeners. Ordinarily, I should have been resting my voice, but I still have to wake, you understand? But in relation to the point I just made about very hyped, highly hyped people who have obviously no principles and no beliefs in the things they say, I think it's a good time to ask those people who sold us the hype that they were Democrats, human rights activists, lawyers par excellence, believers in the rule of law, etc., 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 blah, 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 to apologize to we the people, because the act of power being conferred upon those people has, just confirmed what I've always believed or observed, that whenever Yanum starts making a lot of political capital out of something, especially because some other party has exhibited a little bit of guilt in the direction of that thing, watch that thing very, very carefully, because chances are that they are 200% guilty of that same thing. It is, however, very unfortunate that people fall into their trap every time. And I can understand it, because when they are protesting or making the political capital, they do it so loudly that it is impossible to listen to any other voice or reason. And the examples are bound for all of us to see. I remember vividly the noise that they made when the Gitmo were brought into Ghana. It even became the subject of a court matter. It was later on that I discovered that it was because they themselves had imported 3 terrorists, and because they knew what those 3 terrorists could do, they started making a ridiculous amount of noise about 2 harmless ones to divert attention for what the 3 were coming to do. And up to today, we are living with the effects of the presence of those 3 terrorists from South Africa. Well, the person who allegedly imported them is now, he has become a man about town, going all over, giving lectures, receiving awards, giving accolades and all those things, in the face of the harm that he has done this country by virtue of the importation of those 3 gentlemen into this country. At least we have all seen what has happened in Ayawaso Ogon, and how thugs and brainless entities who have been imbued with state power have engaged in reckless behavior all over the place. At least every now and then we see videos and hear stories of how those thugs are behaving in town, which is why that whole vigilantism bill is a complete joke from where I sit. Because my gut tells me that in 2020, thugs will be deployed allegedly with sophisticated weapons to go and cause mayhem in all kinds of places. So, in fact, I dare suggest that the blueprint for the 2020 election is what was tested in Ayahuasca Wagon. And my suspicion is that it will be, the manner will be retweaked. It will be realigned and readjusted and redeployed. You understand? And the strategy is likely to be the same. Reduce turnout in some places through fear of armies and maximize turnout in other places using intimidation and terror tactics. But by the way, what has become of the report of the Short Commission? What has happened to the report of the Short Commission? Have its contents been implemented to the letter as we speak? Or the report is gathering dust because apart from the complete or alleged disinterest in implementing those decisions, there is no way in hell the current convoluted security architecture will be restructured because allegedly the mechanically ruthless ex-US Marines lethal talents are allegedly will be needed going forward, among other things. Anyway, my mouth no be gone. Sorry for the earlier digression. Kokonsa, you be opening your mouth very, very wide and talking nonsense. Why would your voice get choked? But it's still, the mouth is a terrible thing to waste. You understand? Somebody I know said the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Kokonsa said the mouth is a terrible thing to waste. So whether I'm sounding like a frog or not, once I can still make you people hear whatever it is that I have to say, I will open my mouth. Now, another example of smokes and mirrors in the manner in which I have just outlined it is, for example, when somebody appointed his niece, a lawyer, into government, people began to shout that they will practice a family and friends government, and that their wives will not be in charge of the distribution of government contracts. So they did all that shouting because they knew that if they ever got into power, to make it easy for juicy fruits from the corruption orchard to be plucked, allegedly family members will be put at very sensitive or lucrative ministerial perches on the mango tree. So, if you look at the current architecture of the mango tree, finance, the engine room, is being controlled by a cousin to ensure that if money comes, it can be in safe hands allegedly. Then they put another relative in charge of judicial matters allegedly. So that allegedly, if you were foolhardy enough to try to fight some things through the courts, you will be thrown out and fined allegedly. So you see, now we have the largest single concentration of cousins, brothers, sisters, wives, sons, daughters, and concubines ever in one government in the annals of our governance journey in this country since independence. And it is one of the worst alleged corruption first days. Because when or which member of the family is going to complain or talk about corruption when the whole show is going to stay in the family, so that eons after they leave power, they still live like Arabian princes or rock stars and own more private recreational areas in prime areas of the capital, among other things. So you see, We the people were conned very, very nicely with the rhetoric law. We were scammed. And it was delivered very, very loudly. Oh. Now, the last scam that I have uncovered has to do with the deception that was sold to we the people about how some people loved human rights, civil freedoms, how they were tolerant, lovers of democracy, among other things. So now they have power. And suddenly our press freedom rating is at its lowest in a very long time. Oh. For the first time in a very long time, a journalist was working in the Attorney General's department on a seminal investigation which implicated a lot of people high up a certain mango tree, was shot in the chest in a mafia-style assassination. That singular act prompted the UN Special Rapporteur on something to write a scathing and strongly worded letter to our foreign minister seeking answers. I wonder what has happened to that letter and whether the rapporteur has received the requisite answers. As if that was not enough, two journalists, one a firm critic of the previous regime, who did a cock and bull story about podcasts and wrote many foul articles, and another chap who exposed corrupt shenanigans involving Chinese miners and bribes, had to go into hiding because overnight they became wanted. Now, for a while, a gentleman who has been firing all kinds of serious salvos on social media and who usually has documents how to make aka Bombay green with envy as the original Mr. Documents has been under attack. Oh. You see, whenever you see a consistent, concerted effort on the part of the elephants to go after or attack somebody, it means that that person has started hating them badly, is hating them badly, or has hurt them badly in terms of something that could affect either a potential financial fortune or their electoral fortune. So within 3 years, or no. So within a couple of days, or a matter of days, this chap on social media called Kevin Taylor has gotten sued in court, and I don't want to say anything, but the lawyers will tell you that there are principles in law about jurisdiction. We have the territorial principle, the nationality principle, the passive personality principle, the protective principle, and the universal principle. All these are principles that have to do with jurisdiction when it comes to a matter. Now, if it comes to international law, yes, these matters of jurisdiction can be, invoked. But if it is a purely civil matter between two individuals, I'm just thinking about it. But anyway, it is a matter for the lawyers. So, I'm sure when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. But within a number of days, this Kevin Taylor chap has gotten sued. He has allegedly gotten attacked by gentlemen allegedly using an SUV belonging to the Ghanaian embassy in Washington, New York. And a certain lawyer who is famous for all kinds of reasons has written to the New York Times to report Kevin Taylor's wife to her boss on suspicion that she has been helping her husband to defame the president of the Republic of Ghana. And as for that move, it is so farcical that I can't even begin to finish laughing. I say I can't even begin to finish laughing. So these are the serious, never seen before lawyers that some people say they have. Oh, I mean, what kind of logic and has caused a decision to write a letter to the boss of a man's wife to report the activities of a husband, which has absolutely no bearing on the work she does? It sounds to me like the logic that made them quickly rush to the Supreme Court in 2008 to injunct the Electoral Commissioner from announcing their electoral loss, because all the shenanigans they have tried to pull, including new figures from a certain region to ostensibly tip the balance, had failed. Though, or quickly writing a letter to the National Media Commission to accuse us, a radio station, of inciting people, because they thought the National Media Commission was a court which could prevent we the people from broadcasting the truth to the masses of the country. Oh, only to fail to show up when the NMC fixed a date for the hearing of the matter. Oh, and that paper was put together by the late J. Kokonsa Obechebilante, the certificateless mulatto and the stealer of government bungalows. You understand? So that it seems to me that the philosophy behind that type of thing is to try to throw anything, anybody connected with people, to throw anything at anybody connected with people, in the hope that that thing will distract whatever or whoever is hating them long enough to regroup or confer or find ways to neutralize that trait. Oh, I mean, I haven't stopped having a good laugh. Oh, the good thing is that the Americans understand press freedom. You understand? One of their presidents said he preferred a situation where there will be newspapers without a government to a situation where there will be a government without newspapers. Oh, recently, their Supreme Court taught Donald Trump a nice lesson in how to treat journalists, even if he didn't like them personally. Oh. So it is very clear that the New York Times is not like the new National Commission of Ghana, which appears to be dressed in the colors of the French national team. Oh. In any case, why? What didn't people say about John Dramani Mahama or even Professor John Evans Fifi Atamils when they were presidents? Which lies didn't they tell about John Mahama? Which vile insults didn't they heap on him? Which investigations didn't they conduct on him? Did we the people see any of the weird things we are seeing now? Weren't we all party to the weird, sometimes mind-boggling things they used to say on Boiling Point, on the Madida Noise Box, which is located in an alleged cocaine enclave in that part of town? Did anybody give orders? Excuse me. Did anybody give orders for that station to be shut down? So it means the chaps in the Umbrella Party who suffered the ignominy of being described in sometimes very uncomplimentary terms. In some cases being called, animals, or being equated to animals by the likes of the now beleaguered Manasseh Azuri, or suffering the brunt of foul articles written by people like Fadi Dabusi. Those people were not human beings who had red blood flowing through them, eh? It means that people like the late Professor Mills, who were at the receiving end of the violence of people like John Kuma and all those other elephants, like a very wonderful communications minister who used to, say all kinds of uncomplimentary things about the man who taught her the law. They were not human beings, Abby. They had pure water running through their systems, eh? But well, it is all good. The point is that pretty soon it is going to be very difficult to deceive the people of this country again, oh. Because the history will be so well written that people will be very well informed. Especially in these days when we have something called the internet, which is able to maintain and keep information several years after the statement has been made. Oh, my brothers and sisters, today, if you go and look at some of the things that Grandpa said from maybe 2013 to 2014 to that day he was sworn in as president, and you just oppose with what is going on under his rule, you will see that there's a difference between hype and noise and reality. Oh, today somebody like Dr. Piki Baushit has become a very pale shadow of the economics wizard he was when he was in opposition. Oh, I mean, Wale Adam Smith, for example, has no theory regarding why the city is now 5-1 as far as the dollar is concerned. Oh, can you imagine what would have been happening in this country under JM or Professor Mills if the city had been 5-1? My brother, people would have been shouting very, very, very loudly. And the sad thing is that you don't even see any attempt on the powers that be to stem the tide or arrest the city. You understand? Look, by this time, if that had been happening, they would have been throwing the incompetent tag about. Oh, incompetent this, incompetent that. Or they would have been yelling, change. My brothers and sisters, you look at this whole PDS something. Look at it. You just look at it purely from the perspective of a layman. If this kind of thing had happened under John Dramani Mahama or Professor Mills, people would have been yelling and calling for the resignation of the minister in charge by now. People would have been calling for resignations. I mean, let's look at it. What was it that made somebody like Victoria Hama leave government? Was it not the contents of a tape on which an aspiration was made that she hopes to get $1 million at some point in time? In a purely hypothetical sense, why did Fatima leave government? Was it not because of some buses that had been branded? How much was involved? Look at this whole PDS matter. Look at the latest that have been flying around. Look at the inside story. Look at the amount of money involved. $198 million. Look at the way the nature of the mind-boggling nature of the whole transaction. Yet people are quiet. But you see, I guess we live in animal farm. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. May God have mercy upon all of we the hypocritical elements in this country of ours called Ghana. May those people who have lost their tongues continue to be deaf to thy kingdom come. All those evil society groups, all those organizations which used to shout and make a lot of noise and fall over themselves over, funny, small lapses in error as far as government business was concerned. Who today, in the face of glaring, evidences that points to fraud, thievery, naked robbery and loot of our resources. May they continue to keep their mouth shut till their kingdom come. I'm telling you. Because, touch wood, if there's a change, I will start hearing their voices. Some of us will come after them with everything that is within our hearts. Because my brothers and sisters, now when you watch what is going on in this country, it doesn't make sense. Nothing is making sense in this country anymore. Nothing is making sense in the business of governance. There are clear evidences that everything is wrong. Yet, because Kaflache, everything is going away for some people. They don't want to open their mouth and talk. I said, think about it. Let's just roll back the clock 4 years ago. If we are walking up to here, that a national asset was handed over to individuals. One of them who allegedly happens to be the barber of the president, who was at the time John Mahama, with figures involving or close to $198 million involved. And the weirdness of the whole transaction, which is now being, made out or being discovered as having been built on fraud. Where the whole thing is being made to look like, or the whole thing is looking like Taflache, certain conditions were relaxed for certain people to get access to certain things allegedly. What do people have been saying in this country? So how come there's muted disquiet in this whole business of this PDS and all these things which are happening? How come there's no outrage? How come people are just quiet and business as usual, and people are throwing all kinds of things at us, which of course clearly when you apply simple common sense to it, don't make sense. May God have mercy upon all of us. May God have mercy upon all of us. I'm telling you. Especially to those hypocritical elements. But anyway, this is not even what I've got to talk about this evening. So please, those people who are in the forefront of the campaign of lies, of calumny, of red herrings, of telling us things which were not true about the inclination of people to rights and freedoms and all those things. All those people who told us those things, they have to apologize to we the people in this country. We the people deserve an apology. Because the facts that are coming out now, on the basis of the things that we are seeing, on the basis of the attacks on individual freedoms and rights, in the faces of attacks on people's means of survival, of living, those facts don't point to what they told us. Therefore, we the people deserve an apology. And I'm going to campaign for that apology at a further notice. Because it's nonsense. Anyway, you this Kokonsa, if you keep talking like this and opening your mouth very wide and saying things which Taflache and their media houses are unable to talk about, why wouldn't they shut your station down? If you keep doing this kind of analysis, why would they shut your station down and confine you to the online world? But my brother, the mouth is a terrible thing to waste. And what is good for the goose is also good for the horse. Conversely, if something was not good in 2013 or 2014 or 2015, it certainly can be good in 2017 or 2018 or 2019 if it is being done on an even more humongous scale than it was done in that period of condemnation 5 or 6 years ago. It is that simple. Anyway, as you know, this is not even what I've got to talk about this evening. This was just one of those random musings. As I said, please forgive my croaky voice. And I'm going to look for some spicy bat soup to drink. And I hope that it will clear my voice well enough so that the next time I come and make a presentation, my voice will be as clear as a bell. Until then, keep listening to your power station, Radio Gold 90.5 FM. And keep pressing your prayers so that God will soften the hearts of some people to really understand what democracy is. And when you even think about it, they define it in three. They say Kabi Nami Kabi. That's how they say it in three. Kabi Mami Kabi Amembo. Right? Yet, the people who say they believe in freedoms and democracy and all those things are engaged in behavior where somebody is carrying B, but they don't want somebody else to also Kabi. So, it has become Mika Man Kabi. That is not democracy. Anyway, God bless Ghana. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Ever!